John Diarman with the Coquille Valley Sword Group, and today we're going over the last of the Heiho Sanjugo Kajo. So this is the epilogue. Let's begin. In the previous 35 articles, I have described to a large extent the essence of my martial arts, from the application of the individual techniques to the spiritual attitude. The omitted small details are all very similar to the above-mentioned teachings. I have conscientiously not put down on paper more about the sword techniques, which I try out myself in the school, as well as the instructions that can only be verbally transmitted during training. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer them in person, on the lucky day in February in the 18th year of Kane, Shinmen Musashi Genshin. So, I've included the epilogue because it gives us a little bit of extra information that helps to give us context for the document as a whole, right? First thing he says is, hey, first thing we're going to talk about is he says, hey, I have omitted stuff, right? Small details and the specifics of how the sword is used in my style, aside from probably the 5 approaches, or the 3 parries I think were also in here. But don't sweat it, right? Those things are not as important as the essence, right? If you grasp the essence, then you have it, right? Everything else is just, it's the apple on the apple tree, right? The apple isn't the tree is the tree. The essence is what's important, the hyoho, right? The military method, the strategy, right? The technical work is just application, it's just convenient, right? Next, he says, the rest of it, I instruct in just specific training, but it's interesting how he phrases it. He says, I haven't talked about sword techniques more, which I try out, right? In other words, there isn't this he doesn't come off with this idea of like, I have mastered this strike, the flying monkey tail strike of Niten will strike any man down. He says, no, I'm just trying stuff, right? I play around with it to see what's what, and if I find something better, I switch to it, right? And that kind of lack of hubris and lack of sort of rigid dogmatic thinking, especially for someone who espouses an idea like the body of the rock, it's a hallmark of the character of our method, right? And it should really give people a lot of pause to think about, like, what is it that I'm focusing on when I do my training, right? Am I doing sasen to learn how to poke a guy? Is that what I'm getting out of it? Is it like, oh, well, this is the best way to skewer a guy in the face or throat, right? Sasen, ultimate poke, super poke, 9,000, right? If that's what you're getting, that's not what Musashi's talking about, right? So, you have to give it some thought. So, that wraps up our 35 articles of strategy. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a private message or comment in the comments. That's about it. So, as always, if you want to understand this work, you have to pick up a sword and go train.